Thank you very much for that very wonderful presentation. So now we're going to call Mr. Cecil Masiga from the Department of IT, from the Ministry of Transport and Communication, to talk about cybersecurity and the Data Protection Act.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cecil Masiga from the Ministry of Transport and Communications, Director responsible for policy development and the ICT division. Today's my presentation will cover cybersecurity and data protection with a look at the Botswana framework. My presentation will take you through the background, noting the National Cybersecurity Strategy, its aspects and what it deals with, and then a look at the Data Protection Act of 2018 and discuss the way forward. As a way of background, I would like for us to appreciate the definition of the word cybersecurity. It's a whole host of things, including the collection of tools, policies, security concepts, safeguards, etc., with the intention and aim of protecting the cyber environment and organizations, including the users' assets. When we look at this term cybersecurity, we need to note that it includes, this assets includes connected computing devices, personnel, infrastructure, applications, services, and among us other things, where those which are involved in the totality of transmitted and stored information. The aim is to strive for attainment of security of these aspects. There are multiple dimensions of cybersecurity, among us which it includes governance structures, risk management, incident management, as well as protection of critical national information infrastructure. In Botswana, we have described this as water, finance, transport, communications, etc., including public safety. We will note also that legislation and policy measures are included in this definition, including the vital international and regional cooperation and collaboration with other states. When you look at this in totality, we should understand that it also covers cloud-specific capabilities that are very vital in this aspect that are normally not covered in traditional security. We also should understand the aim and intention is to preserve and make data available, ensuring its integrity at all times, and identifying and controlling such sensitive information in someone's systems. When you talk about cloud technology, you're talking really about systems that belong to someone else, and therefore the threat protection and compliance to various standards that we are adopting and adapting to our environment is really vital, including the threat intelligence, encryption, and many others. Intertwined to this word, cybersecurity is cybercrime. And we'll note, as I've already discussed, that it's really about cybersecurity, about protection of government and corporate networks, including the individual users themselves. Whereas cybercrime is really focusing on protection of individuals and families as they navigate in the online. It's really intertwined for all purpose and intent. Botswana has grown phenomenally to depend on ICTs in many aspects of its economy and social being. We note that information systems in finance, communications, as I've already indicated, and many others, as I've described in my slide there, are really important to the continuation of life in Botswana and the growth of its. But obviously, this critical national information infrastructure are vulnerable to threats and risks committed by state and non-state actors. States have been noted to have developed ICT capabilities that are used for wars and conflicts, and therefore it's really vital that we protect this in our environment. Whereas when you look at specifically data protection, it deals with set of procedures and that safeguard personal data stored within systems, safeguarding sensitive information, and describing your operational backups and business continuity in case of disaster. However, I want to submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's really vital we combine data protection and cybersecurity, essentially because we know that data and system protocols can be damaged in the same attack. And therefore, the teams for data protection and the teams for security must combine their efforts, ensure that the survivability of that system, even in the eventuality of an attack, is guaranteed and minimum damage is realized. We note also by combining this two that we'll be controlling all stages of data lifecycle, ensuring compliance of applicable regulations, making it very easy to do that. And cybersecurity risks can essentially compromise data security. This is why we really need to combine the two. In Botswana, we have developed a national cybersecurity strategy whose vision is really to attain cybersecurity for all by 2022 and beyond, with the mission to protect this critical national information infrastructure, building capacity and capabilities. We are sitting at about 200 professionals as a country at this present moment in time, whereas we should, as the studies have shown, have a minimum of 5,000 cybersecurity specialists, and therefore we need to ramp up this. There are 6 strategic objectives in the strategy, amongst which is achieving a secure and resilient cyberspace, enhancing capacity and capability. Under strategic objective 1, it includes ensuring harmonization of our data protection acts and any other essential act that is in place, like your Cybercrime and Computer-Related Crime Act of 2018. These are also included. Under each of these strategic objectives, if I alluded to it, we have development and review of policies and legislations that must happen. The data protection as it sits at today, it needs to be harmonized to other laws that are in place at this moment, and including the envisaged cybersecurity law that we are already in the process of developing as a country. And we note that we have already achieved some progress in relation to the cybersecurity strategy, including its approval and the establishment of the communication set, which will be used to as a body that will be looking at the cyber threats and risks that emanate from our country. We have already established the Digital Cyber Forensic Lab. The Data Protection Act seeks to regulate the protection of personal data, ensuring that the privacy of individuals in relation to their personal data, whether it is in the cloud or is stored in country within systems that are in our country, are protected. It also seeks to establish your Information and Data Protection Commission, which is a body that will be overseeing the implementation of this act and other ancillary matters there too. There are various provisions and parts of this law, amongst which there is that specifically discusses the powers of the Commission in relation to processing of personal data, the requirements and criteria for processing data, processing of sensitive personal data, collection of this data, and the right to access. As a way forward in Botswana, we seek to review our Cybercrime and Computer-Related Crime Act. This emanates precisely because, amongst other reasons, that new technologies have come about, your 4IR, your Internet of Things, and including cloud computing, which were not noted in the beginning when this act was developed. We are in the process of developing a cybersecurity bill, and as well as establishing structures and undertaking various initiatives. This is what we are doing as Botswana. I thank you.